The band started about 4 years ago now. It's kind of hard to tell after lockdown, but about 4 years. But the core of the band is me and my two brothers. So my older brother Jack, my younger brother Theo. And so actually, as a group, we've been playing together in different things for 7 or 8 years. And I suppose we grew up playing together as well, so a long time. So we were brought up on a healthy diet of a lot of Bruce Springsteen. So I think a lot of our music and a lot of our music making career so far has essentially been trying to sound like Bruce Springsteen in some fashion. But really, the music is heavily inspired by that, but sort of people like Tom Waits, Bob Seger, John Fogerty, sort of, I suppose, classic heartland rock. And then sort of put through our own style. So, things are often influenced a lot by who you're working with and where you're working. So, particularly with the album, it sort of has slightly more of an English feel, I guess. Stuff's slightly more raw. It's got quite a live feel in the room. Whereas the new EP, which we took a much more sort of hands-on approach with production and things, has got more of a slightly older school rock and roll vibe. It was really influenced by a lot of that sort of Jersey Shore, early Jersey Shore 70s sound. So sort of has a sort of punky, guitar-driven thing. It's really music that's meant to be played live. The album that we put out, which was just before lockdown, which was called Long Way to the Ground, we recorded with Chris Clark of Reservoir Studios. That was sort of the first bigger work that I think we'd ever really done. It's the first album that we've ever written and recorded. Again, yeah, sort of like I said, it's got quite a live sound. Like we tracked most of it live in the room playing together, and then laid little bits on top. I think we were sort of exploring the sound of the studio, trying to work in the studio for the first time, see what we could do, see what worked, what didn't work, and we're really happy with how it turned out. But it has its own sound. It sounds like what the band sort of sounded like at the time. And I think quite soon after that, actually, the band started changing slightly. We had more of an acoustic-y vibe, played with an acoustic guitar on stage. And so things sort of moved in a slightly different way. Whereas recently it's more moved towards slightly more of an electric sound. So it's two electric guitars on stage. Less work with keys on stage, even though I'm really a keys player. So the stuff's often written on keyboard, but actually this newest EP, I just got myself a new Dan Electro, and I'm not sure my wife was very happy about it, but decided that during lockdown was the time to start playing some rock and roll music. So wrote pretty much the whole of the new EP on electric, so it's sort of more straightforward. It's got less or fewer sort of intricate lines and things. It's more sort of straight up rock and roll, big chords, big thrashy stuff with hopefully like just big catchy melody lines instead, particularly in the choruses. So the Betsey Trotwood is, a brilliant venue and one that we've loved playing before. It was actually pretty much the first place we ever played as a band when we did an acoustic show upstairs. And then it's also just before lockdown, we were supposed to play the Betsey Trotwood for the album launch, which obviously got cancelled. And so we've been meaning to get back there. We did a couple of nights a couple of years ago now, and they were some of the most fun gigs we've ever done. The cello is small but has a great sound and has a really cool sort of old school rock and roll club feel, really. And so we've got 3 nights there: October, November, December. On the Friday, October the 15th, and then it's the second Saturday in November and the second Saturday in December. Got hopefully some cool supports lined up as well. Definitely got James Hodder in November and a couple of other people that are hope being announced shortly. always dressed in shades of black. She'd laugh at me and never give me any of my love back. One night she left me for some older guy who played in a band. Said I loved too hard and too easy, I would never understand. Can't figure it out, she had me on this line. I'm losing myself, drowning in cheap red wine. I just need a sign, 'cause love keeps wasting my time. Lisa told me that we'd be forever young. We'd head out across America in Cadillacs riding shotgun. But we never made it off this island to the promised land. She said that I was just a boy and she needed a man. The harder I try, the further I fall. My heart's got my back pinned up against the wall. God, I just need a sign, 'cause love keeps wasting my time. It keeps wasting my time. Janie sat me down on the back seat, said, "You ain't found who you are meant to be. The road less traveled is the only part to find the secret of your heart." The love that you seek, it can only come naturally. Son, open your eyes, 'cause love keeps wasting my time. It keeps wasting my time. It keeps wasting my time.